on the YouTube. I'm going live on the YouTube. I'm going live. I'm going live. I'm going live on the YouTube. All right, so I am back, you all, and now I just posted it in the comments, the link to for all of you all who might want to join the conversation. Tonight we're talking everything Black. This is a Patreon safe. This is a all type of safe space kind of moment, and so I'm going live on the YouTube. We're back. And if you want to join the conversation with me, then all you got to do is copy and paste the link that I have posted in the comments. And once you've copied and pasted that link, let me know so that I can then add you to the stream and then everybody can see our conversation. We can have a little chit chat. It could be a whole thing. It'll be a whole vibe, a whole moment. It'll just be everything that we need in life, okay? So I'm just really excited about the entire thing because somebody said that Saweetie decided that she was going to be RuPaul for Halloween. And what I'm about to do is pull it up because I want to see. I want to see. So y'all give me a minute because I want to see. I'm hoping it's on her Instagram. So I'm just going to go to her Instagram and see. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch, that's sickening. Oh, oh, bitch. That's sickening. I'm sorry, y'all. That's sickening. This is sickening. Okay, I want y'all to watch. I want y'all to see it too if you haven't seen it. So I'm finna share my screen. The link should be already on. Let me post it again because I did post it before. So I just posted the link. So if y'all want to join, click that link. But what I'm about to do is I'm about to see if I can share this motherfucking screen. Because because y'all bitch, I need y'all to see. I need y'all to see what I see. Okay. So y'all need to see. All right. So I'm sharing the screen. Do y'all see, bitch? This is Saweetie as fucking RuPaul, bitch. Is there more shots? Oh my God. So that was her inspiration picture. So this was Saweetie's inspiration picture. And then this is what she came up. Bitch, when I said, okay, she ate this. I'm sorry. Is there a problem? Do we have a problem with her eating this like this? Because she ate this. I'm okay. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. But if there's a problem with her eating this like this, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be because I see no issues. This is sickening. I feel like it pays homage without it being this fucking. She ate that with sauce. She did. She fucking ate that shit with sauce. I personally don't see a problem with it. I personally don't. I don't see a problem with it. I do not see a problem with this. I think, right. Okay. So we have more people. Demetrius says that it looks good to me. So I can't remember which one of you all brought it up, but I'm hoping that it wasn't for a bad reason. I don't think she did anything wrong here. Honestly, to me, what I like is the idea that one of the cis women actually paid fucking homage to, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the cis women actually paid fucking homage to the fucking girls because they take every fucking thing else from us. And, like, I don't think that anybody had a problem with it, but I do know that somebody brought it up. And I just wasn't sure if they brought it up because they had a problem with it or if they brought it up because they just wanted to know if I had seen it. But, I don't know. Like, I thought that, look here, when it first popped up, if somebody wouldn't have told me that that was Rue, I would have just assumed that it was Rue and I would have kept it pushing. But I'm just like, I'm going back and forth between her picture and fucking RuPaul's picture, and I am just dying of motherfucking slayage. Like, the entire thing is fire, and I can't wait to see more pictures of it. Um, I feel like Saweetie is one of the girls that has paid homage to the community since day one. Even though her and even though Saweetie and fucking Nikita fell out, I feel like Saweetie was one of the first fucking and has been one of the first fucking black female cisgender women to like really incorporate like being out and about, right? And actually like having your trans girls be on, you know? There are so many fucking people that utilize and, you know, abuse the culture, and then they don't pay any fucking tribute. And so the fact that Saweetie decided that she was going to fucking pay tribute and give Mama Ru her flowers and all that good shit, even though I have commentary about Mama Ru. I do. I have some commentary about Mama Ru. I think that that's dope. I feel like that's really dope. I feel like it was done in good taste. I don't think there's anything wrong with what the fuck Saweetie did, and I'm living for it. I want to share the screen again. But if you know, Saweetie did a whole fucking thing. So like I said, we want to talk about black shit tonight. The link, if you want to join me in conversation, is going to be up there in the comment section. So if you want to join the conversation, if you want to be a part of the conversation, I don't know if my boo Christian got back here yet. But Christian, if you want to join the conversation tonight to give us some good dope ass topics to speak on, to talk about or whatever, Christian, the link is up there in the comments. Go ahead and click that link and I will add y'all in. If you just want to have a Q&A with me kind of vibe, this is for y'all. I'm doing this for my Patreon people and all of my YouTube subscriber people and the people that, you know, keep money in my pockets, because I love you all. I love every single one of y'all. My pockets loves you. Okay. My bank account loves you. And so thank y'all for being who you are out here in these streets and out here in the world. But the link is definitely up there in the comments. So I'm just going to wait to see if people file in, because you know folks like to watch from afar. People don't be liking to actually be a part of the party, but people love to watch from afar. So I'm gonna keep it on the stream page so that I can see if somebody decides that they want to be a part of the conversation. I really want to go get my lip gloss because my lips are hella fucking dry right now, yo. My lips are so fucking dry. My lips are so fucking dry. But that's what I get for being out here kissing on people, kids. That is what I get for being out here kissing on people's sons, okay? Do I have lip gloss in this place? Now, all my ladies, I'm letting y'all know that I fucked up, because there should always be lip gloss in one of your purses. In every single one of your purses, there should always be a lip gloss. And I think my other purse is all the way over there on the fucking door. I want to go get it, but I don't want y'all to see how messy my bed is right now. Because my bed is really, really messy. I'm going to just cover it up with a sheet. And then I'm going to go get my... Because this is bothering me, that my lip gloss. Y'all can see my bed. Y'all see how messy my bed is? Oh my God. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell anyone. Y'all can't tell nobody that y'all saw it like this, because I'm not gonna be here for much longer, so y'all can't tell nobody that y'all saw my bed all messed up. I'm watching The 100. The 100 is still my show, but I'm done with it because I finished it. And I'm so sad that it's finally over. I am so sad that The 100 is finally fucking over. No more storylines. no more nothing. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with my time now because that was the one show that I wanted to fucking binge watch. And now I can't fucking binge watch it. So I'm just in my feels about the entire fucking thing because all I wanted to do was watch it. It was a good ending. I don't know I'm going to watch. I think I want to do. I think what I'm going to do is that I want to do a movie viewing party with you guys. Like I want to do like a watch party for the Bad Hair movie. I don't know if I want to do it tonight, just because I wasn't prepared. It's not to say that I can't, but it's just to say that I wasn't prepared. But everybody has been talking about this Black Hair movie. And so I'm thinking I want to do like a cute little watch party of that. But I also want to watch which is why I'm only going to probably be on here for like, like 40 minutes to an hour or something like that. Because I want to watch Bad Hair or Good Hair or whatever that hair movie is that all of the people are in. I want to watch that movie. And then I also want to watch the remake of The Witches with Anne Hathaway. And it's just because I love Anne Hathaway. I fucking love Anne Hathaway. She can do no wrong in my eyes. There's not a motherfucking thing wrong that Anne Hathaway could do unless she do some fucked up ass racist shit. And then I'm just like, fuck her. But for the most part, Anne Hathaway is a saint. And she does no wrong. I wonder if I turn on my Wi-Fi. I really liked Bad Hair. Okay, see, everybody is saying that they really liked it. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm one of those people that is, left in the dust. So, hey, Khalid.
Hey, why is it flipping my face all ugly? Wait, let me get some good lighting. Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. So, here we go.
Boom. Wait.
This happens when we add people to the feed.
Wait, let me take the glasses off.
Did you see Bad Hair? Because I want to. Did you see Bad Hair?
I haven't seen it yet. I have to steal somebody's Hulu because I'm not trying to pay for Hulu.
See, in my mind, I want to do like a watch party. Like I want to do.
Oh, that would be fun.
I feel like that would be fun, right? Like I feel like I could just like transfer my tribe.
This damn ponytail. Go ahead, my bad.
What is the shake happening?
Shake yourself loose, okay, girl.
It's the quality. It's the quality for me. That your internet is popping over there.
Right? We paid in full.
Don't watch The Witches. It was terrible. My boyfriend and I watched it and we hated it. No one.
The Witches movie?
Okay, but not the original one. So Anne Hathaway made Anne Hathaway's people paid to make a remake.
Yeah, that shit looked trash. It looks trash. Like when the whole I hate when they like take these movies that we love already and want to redo it. Like, bitch, the movie is not that old. What the fuck y'all doing?
So with that being said, how do y'all feel about this remake? Well, not remake, but this extension of The Craft.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Just throw it away.
Okay, so Bad Hair was height of satire, killer weave. See, okay, now I have to watch it because I didn't get that. Like somebody said that there was like magic being incorporated into it. And I was just like, well, what does that mean? Like I'm really curious because I'm a sci-fi girl. I'm into all of the things. And so anything that incorporates like magic or something really sci-fi or weird, like I'm here for it. So at this point, I want to see it. I love The Craft. I love The Craft too, but the thing about it is that they're getting ready to do this remake. And honestly, I don't even think that it's a remake, to be perfectly honest with y'all. I feel like it's an adaptation, which is a little bit different than the remake because they're still incorporating that the first three girls existed. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, see, exactly. Demetrius said that it's a continuation, right? And I think that it's a continuation of the story. It's not like a remake.
Wait, The Craft?
Yeah, because what they did is that
I've never heard of that.
What?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, bitch.
I'm like, what? Maybe I'm tripping on weed and Hennessy. No, I was playing.
Oh, bitch. I can't with you.
The Craft.
So Anne didn't really do anything for this movie. That sucks. It's like a remake. Yeah, it's definitely like a remix. It's not like a remake. But you need to watch the first one because how you going? You can't even get no. I want to put you off low key because you can't have no commentary.
I mean, I've seen that Witches movie, which I like that movie. It's cute. It's like it's a good good judge for your holiday time, family time, and everything. But The Craft.
The Craft is everything, bitch. It is a fucking cult classic. Are you fucking kidding me?
When did it come out?
Bitch, like before you were born. Way before you were born.
That's a lot of
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how old The Craft is. You know Rachel True from Half and Half?
Rachel True. The one with the curly hair?
Yes.
I love her.
Right, but she was in it as a teenager. That's how old The Craft is.
Oh, this shit is ancient. This is prehistoric. Pre my history, okay?
How old The Craft is for you young children.
The Craft.
Oh, John is trying to give up. John, why don't you join the feed? John, come on, join the
just the three. We could be a whole Destiny's Child, and of course I'm Beyonce, but you know.
You're not gonna be Beyonce on my motherfucking feed, bitch. I will put you off of here.
You know what?
You don't get to do that. You be that person. So
okay, Michelle. I mean Kelly. I mean whoever you want to be. Anybody but B. Anybody but her.
Anybody but. Oh, it came out in 1996.
96. Oh yeah, that was when my sister was born.
These
Rachel True. Speaking of like stuff and half and half right now though, like honestly, in terms of this new stuff that they put on Netflix, I'm not too into all the black shit that they're putting. Like all of it, I'm not into everything. I never was into Girlfriends. I never was into. I mean, Sister was like, oh, Sister is on, but I'm not about to sit here and sit through a whole bunch of Sister episodes. Half and Half is that one show though that I'm like, oh my gosh, this shit is still funny.
Okay. So, unpopular opinion is that I'm going to have to agree with Khalif because, but it's for a different reason. So the reason that I'm agreeing with Khalif is because I personally just feel like they put a lot of those shows back on there, but now that we're older and we're in a different space, a lot of that shit is problematic as fuck.
Yeah. Like the way they used to talk about what's some jigger, not Dee Dee, but what's some jigger on Half and Half and her hair and everything. Yeah. Her hair was so cute. And it was like trash talking her.
Like talk about how her hair looked like a wet dog and how she needed to get it flat ironed and like all of these things. Like when we really look back at some of these fucking shows that like we stand, like they weren't the best fucking shows. Like some of those shows were hella fucking trash and hella fucking toxic and had a bunch of fucking problematic ass views that went along with them.
But I feel like it's like the different times or whatever. Like there's certain, like you back when Eddie Murphy did Delirious, you could say faggot and get away with it. And yeah, back when he did Delirious, he said faggot a billion times and got away with it.
But there was never a getting away with it for me. There was never a getting away with it. It was just the fact that back when he said it, the LGBT community didn't have the right to really rebut it. But was ever a thing where it was like, oh, he could say it and get away with it. It was just the fact that as queer people back in that time, we didn't have the right to come out and fucking, or we didn't, let me say that. We didn't feel like we had the right to, come out and be like, no, that's not it. Juan is talking about hope. No, look here. Let me tell y'all something.
I look, you like Delirious stuff.
Girlfriends for what it was in the time, but also
Girlfriends is so cheesy.
Let's be fucking real, y'all. A lot of the shit that we watched and that we liked, it was only because we didn't have cable.
That part.
I'm just gonna like a lot of that shit that we stand for. It was because we didn't have fucking cable. But
even
now,
that's so Raven, to be honest.
I don't know. Now that I'm older, like I love Moesha. Moesha's one of my favorite fucking shows. in the entire world. But like, I think that we can all realize that now that we're older, Moesha was annoying. Child, my little edges, they just doing what they want to do.
What did I do?
Yes.
Oh, I pressed done. I don't know why I pressed done. I don't know. I was looking at the chat and I was like, okay, I'm done with the chat. Done. Bloop.
I love this from Girlfriends. Yes, with the no cap. I'm telling you, because that's part of the reason why we watched that shit was because we didn't have no motherfucking cable.
I personally don't even like the theme song, to be honest. As much as it's just like it didn't age well for me.
Truth said Moesha was a trash ass friend. Not gonna hold you, but she was.
She was a terrible friend.
She was fucking friend. Hope don't do that. I had all the cable. First of all, Girlfriends was on network television. The Parkers was on network television, and so was Moesha. All of those shows were on network television first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, be wrong. They did eventually move over to cable and VH1 and Nick at Night or whatever the case may be. But a lot of us know those shows from before the good times, okay? So we not gonna act like it was. I wasn't grand like that. We didn't get cable in my house until I was
never in my house. We still don't have cable in my mother's house.
Bitch, you know what?
She said we don't watch TV enough for me to pay for it.
No, the fuck what? I'm bye, Khalif. I'm not about to even play with Khalif. No cable? Bitch, you got me fucked up. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I am good. I'm gonna bring Khalif. Are you cable? Y'all didn't have cable. Your mama still don't have cable in 2020?
My mother works 2 jobs.
I'm gonna bring.
Ain't got time for that.
Anyway, so John, what do you feel like? Because I know that you're older than us, but it's kind of like, for me, looking back on a lot of
John, I'm sorry.
Like the Parkers, like Moesha, like all of these things that they're trying to bring back as a nostalgic, sort of vibe. For me, it's just kind of like, now that I'm older and now that the times are a little bit different, like socially things are different, looking at some of these shows is just triggering. Like seeing the way that they were talking about Kim and the way that they I believe was saying how they were talking about Rachel True's hair and how Dee like that was the butt of the joke on damn near every episode, 3 or 4 times an episode. Like, and I don't know. For me, I can't stand. I still love Moesha. It's still a staple in my life because I did base the woman that I am today off of the character that Brandy played on that show. But other than that, all the rest of that stuff is trash. The way that they had Nikki chasing after that man for 7 fucking seasons.
Right. I was like, she was too gorgeous for that.
But I guess I have a different perspective because I was an adult when those shows came out.
Right.
I never liked the Parkers either because of what you just said. I said, I don't like seeing this big, beautiful woman chasing after this man like a big, beautiful woman can't get a man. But I was watching that show at maybe, what was that, late 90s? So I was almost 30 then when those shows came out.
Good, John. You look good.
Black don't crack. Let's just smoke it.
So I never liked the Parkers, Moesha, because I think I was too old at that time to enjoy that. So I never could watch it and like it. I never liked any of those shows. Half and half I could deal with. What else did they have on?
Who was watching this show?
The only one I really liked on
It's not me.
UPN was Girlfriend.
Hey ho.
Girlfriends I liked.
Hello, Justin.
Thank you.
If one of y'all is watching the show on your laptop or something, y'all need to turn it down.
Is it me?
It might be you, John, because I think I was hearing it before Justin got on.
Okay, it may be me. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, it was you.
Yeah, I was saying the only show on UPN that I kind of got into was Girlfriends. I was highly upset when that didn't go over to the CW when it changed. So
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, the whole thing just it so toxic. Like appearance, like once everything came, because I honestly, to be perfectly honest with y'all, I still have not. The only show that I have watched since they've been rebooted onto the Netflix has been Moesha, and that's just because of the impact that it's literally in my book. Like if you all have my book or if you've read my book, you know that like Moesha was on my womanhood and how I wanted to be seen. But other than that, I haven't watched a single episode of Girlfriends. I haven't rewatched, and it's crazy because the Parkers used to be me and my grandmother's jam. Like we would, my food, and by the time I got home from school, I would shower, and then me and her would watch the Parkers while we ate. It's like our little jam. But now I just look back at that shit and I'd be so turned off about the way that like they had Monique chasing after this man, this fucking Bob the Builder ass blackface nigga.
I'm sorry.
I just couldn't. Justin, what do you think about it? Like,
Not Bob the Builder.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? First of all, hi Hope. I've been watching you like I've been watching your Instagram lately for about like a few months, way before the Black Lives Matter rioting and all that stuff, and like oh my god, like Aaron Phillip, the trans model, like I've seen a video of you on your story.
Oh, okay. So you mean Erin? And I think that she has transitioned to a she now. So she posted a video of me on her story.
Yes.
Okay.
She transitioned to a she, and like it was this transphobic girl with like a tiny afro, a blonde tiny afro.
Oh, that chick, yeah. And I can't remember her name. But she's actually a model. And
I knew, and she had like a history of being like transphobic.
Hella transphobic.
And I was dying laughing. I was at my auntie's house when you were like.
I don't know. But they just gave me $2 and told everybody that I get a good head on the block. And I do. I suck dick really well for people that like. I do. But anyway, so that young lady, she's actually a model, and what's worse is that she is a very high fashion model, or she was. The thing about
her Instagram got deleted because of Aaron.
I was really happy that happened. And it was one of those things where there have been multiple attempts at trying to talk to this young lady. She was on Dr. Phil. She had been, read for filth by Black Twitter. There were so many instances where trans people spared this bitch. And we were trying to make sure that she just didn't get, pulverized, because we wanted to see a Black girl, especially this awkward, freckle face, short, natural hair. We wanted to see her win. But it was one of those things where every time she was pulling in Azalea Banks, essentially. And it was just one of those things that I couldn't take anymore. And I typically don't come for the necks of cisgender Black women, just because I know how that can be received. But in this particular case, I got sick and tired of it, because when I know that you've been educated by some of the best people, I know that Ashley Marie Preston has taken her time to talk to you. I know for a fact that my friend Taylor Rocks has taken her time to talk to you. I know that Raquel Willis has taken her time out to talk to you. I've taken my time out to talk to you. And so for you to turn around and continue to say transphobic shit, it's just like, oh, so you don't care. So at this point, I can't care either. And I don't typically like coming out of character like that anymore, because I don't know how many of you all in it, but I tell this story all the time. One of my good friends is Malibu Dollface, who is a YouTuber here.
I watch him too.
And makeup and different things like that. And when I first started my journey, and I thought I was going to be a YouTuber versus an activist, I asked myself, okay, so what do you think of my content? And Malibu came back and said, "Do you want my real opinion?" Because at that time we had just started, like we were just moving into friendship. We weren't friends yet, and he didn't want to seem like the YouTuber that was just reading me for Phil. So he was like, "Do you want my real opinion, or do you want me to just glaze?" And so I was like, "Okay, well, what's your real opinion?" And Malibu straight up told me, he was like, "Well, from what I see, you can read a bitch for filth and make them feel like they're this big. And that's cool if that's what you're known for. But if you want people to know you for something other than being the person that gives a good read, you're going to change that." And the reason that I tend to not go in on people the way that I went in on that young lady anymore is, one, because I don't have time for the cisgender backlash or them thinking like, oh, because a lot of cisgender women feel like trans women just wait around for opportunities to slay cis women, and that's just not true, especially not in my case. But she had to get it because it was one of those things where I'm sick and tired of cis women out of the woodwork, and that always being the thing that saves them. Because a lot of the times that is the thing that saves them, is that trans women are afraid of being called, out of our names, or we're afraid of looking like we're attacking cisgender women, and so we just don't say anything. And I couldn't do that shit no more, not on that occasion. Like, I was just like, at this point, there had been video footage of you being fucking, basically getting an intervention on Dr. Phil, for God's sakes. And you sat up there with your crocodile tears, and you fake cried in my sister's faces. You fake cried in front of an audience of millions and pretended like you wanted to change. And then you turn around and...
And she was being very ableist as well.
Yes, very. I mean, she had...
Like, remember, she posted like a gif of like this wheelchair man or person, and she dumped him out at the toilet, and she was making fun of Aaron.
Yes. I think that there's a lot of things that she has going on mentally that might need to be addressed. And if anybody else has on this, I'm gonna continuously post the link for y'all to join the conversation. I've been saying
I'm so sorry that I don't have to be sorry for nothing, but I was like, I'm sorry for like changing the conversation. I mean, I just want to really like introduce myself and how I found you.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I would like to kind of know, especially John, how did you find it? I'm always curious.
I found you based off this handicapped woman named.
Mm-hmm. I'm always curious to know. Hope when you read, I literally have to hold on to my wig. Yeah, because bitch,
I've never heard you like read a bitch ever.
Because I don't do it. My thing is, a lot of my hopefuls come from Facebook days before I got popular on Instagram. And on Facebook, I used to let the girls have on a regular basis.
Is it still out in the public? Because I want to see. I want to see it one time. Because I can't read anything but a book, let alone a person. Okay. I used to be good when I was a kid. Back when we called it, you just got treated. I used to be real clever. Something happened, and I just was like, oh, this little kid just hurt my feelings, and I can't even comfort them. All I can say is nothing. Like, I would have nothing to hurt these little kids with. I was like, damn.
Gee. Are you from Chicago, Khalif?
Yes, I'm from Chicago. How you know I'm from Chicago?
Because we be saying treated a lot.
I was gonna
I'm from Chicago as well.
Oh my God!
Yes, I mean.
I'm sorry.
I'll be right back. I need to get some water.
I got get out. My bad. What part of Chicago are you from?
What part of Chicago I am? I'm from I'm actually outside of Chicago. I live in I live in the south suburbs.
What part of the south suburbs?
Harvey.
Oh my gosh! I get my hair cut out in Harvey. When I'm in Chicago.
I get my hair cut out in Riverdale.
You get your hair cut in Riverdale? Oh my God! I don't know. Hope it's looking like this, bitch.
Gee.
Oh my gosh! Hey. I'm going to Chicago for Thanksgiving. I don't want to because I can't stand my mom sometimes. But anyway,
where do you live now?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. They say Atlanta down here. They don't pronounce the T.
First of all, it's Atlanta. Thank you.
I say Atlanta. Like Atlanta.
I be saying Atlanta as well.
Thank you. Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I love Chicago. I would move there if it wasn't for the weather.
See,
I like cold. To be
Best
totally
food
honest.
in the
And I was born in the
world.
spring. Yup, best pizza in the world. Domino's, Pizza Hut would not never.
Could
Italian,
never.
Hope, huh?
Get you some Giordano's, baby. When I tell you,
Home
when I
Run
got my
Inn,
I had
home
home run in is the shit.
I had to
and Italian Fiesta.
go, but it's just Giordano's. Like, if you're not used to actual good pizza, Giordano's is just too good for you.
It is.
I'm from Chicago. Have you heard of Home Run Inn?
Yes.
Italian
home run in.
Fiesta.
Yeah,
I get like the pineapple, like chicken. Sometimes I get the pineapple barbecue
Gee.
chicken pizza, and that joke could just be amazing.
hey y'all.
You
So
can't
for all
lie.
that are joining tonight, I know y'all see me with a couple of new faces. I wanted to make
Almost fit.
my YouTube and my Patreon subscriber people got a different experience than the one I live on Instagram. And y'all know on Instagram, I do a lot of people to be on my live talking about some shit that was already predetermined. And so for my Patreon and my YouTube subscribers, I just wanted to do different. So if you would like to join, I think I could add people. Posted the link and y'all can feel free to join the conversation. I want to know where people found me from because I thought that was really cool. Justin introduced himself by saying that he found me on Erin Phillips' page, and she's a transgender model who is also disabled. I'm not sure if you all know, but she's the right now of the Jeremy Scott collection. Moschino. Excuse me. But she's the new face of the Moschino line. So I'm
Oh, she a new face. I mean,
love it.
I'm so sorry.
let me see. So where did you pick me up at? Where
Let me
car drop you off in Hopeland?
Me? Yeah, I found you through T.S. Madison. I've been following T.S. Madison for years. On YouTube, I know at least since 2009.
Ooh.
And you were like a regular like guest on her show. I like your personality. You're very educational, especially about transgender people and just politics in general. So you're very articulate. And I said, yeah, I like her. So I would always watch you on T.S. Madison. Then when I saw you had your own thing, I said, yeah, let me get into that too.
I heard that.
Ew.
Y'all heard that.
You heard me.
I'm pretty sure. What does that mean? What is what, sugar love? But what about you? Out of nowhere.
It's not. It's
What
Carrie.
about who?
What about you? How did you find me? Because I don't remember. I don't think we ever talked about it.
I don't think we ever did either.
Why are you saying it like that? Where did you find me?
No, because I don't remember. Like everybody has such a cute story. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
You just popped up.
I just remember like I'd been following you forever,
Me.
and well, not forever ever, but I don't know how long I've been following you. But then once you were on live, and I was like, I need somebody on my show, and then boom, the rest is history.
I know. Okay, so Sugar Love said watching you through Maddie. So T.S. Madison is a very influential Black trans influencer on the internets and the interwebs, and she's low key like the reason that a lot of the girls even have room to be out here doing what we're doing right now. And she has what she's curated as like a morning show, and then she has a bunch of different avenues of shows.
Whole lot.
They all do something different. They all give a different vibe. Like they all touch on
the mama room.
her interest. So in her morning show, which is where she usually tends to take all of the pertinent issues going on in the world, be it politics, trans shit, Black shit, like that's where she puts all her serious conversations most of the time. And for a while, she was having me featured on as like a really feature heavy guest. Especially at the beginning of this year. I was on there like every other episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what John means. That he found me through Madison. There's a lot of the newer hopefuls that found me through Madison because of the clips that she would post or debates and stuff that I would have with different people. I think one of the most famous ones was when I was debating her friend from Philly, who was on the episode and was trying to pretend like he was least kinky out of everybody in the group, and meanwhile his whole related after he had a threesome, and so it was just one of those where like everybody in the room was just like, huh? Like, like we were all kind of floored because we felt like he was bullshitting, like he was trying to put on for the camera instead of just having the real authentic conversation. And then there was one time where Craig and I butted heads over Craig's perceived transphobia. And it was a very heated moment that became an awkward show. Not that we didn't get through other stuff, but just like the tension kind of sort of lingered after that moment. And so yeah, that's what that was. What did you say about the people? I saw why Pose. Oh, I saw why Pose is like the video. That video got me in trouble. And the reason that video kind of got me in trouble was because now I made that video before I became friends with India Moore. And India is one of the stars on that show. And if anybody follows me, y'all know that me and India are actually really, really good friends. India supports everything that I do. I support everything that they do. And so the video is getting me in trouble. And I'm thinking about just because I made that video on like during the first season or after the first was wrapped. And I had a lot of thoughts around it. And my thing is, I talked to India about a lot of the things that I said in that video. And India either agreed or had, things that they wanted to just discuss around the topics of why I felt a certain way. India is not mad about the things that I said in that video. But as my platform grows and people go looking like John did, people go looking for other, sources of my stuff, every now and then I will get somebody who has followed me on Instagram, but they haven't been on my YouTube or they didn't know that I had a YouTube, and they'll find that video and it's just like, oh, bitch, you fake as fuck. Like, I thought you and India was friends, like, blah, 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 blah. And so I think I'm going to remove that or change the privacy on the video because I am kind of sick of having that conversation. Like every other 2 months, I have to justify that, I made that video way before I became friends with India. It wasn't in any way, shape, or form to bash anybody on the show. Not only am I friends with India, I'm friends with MJ. I'm friends with Angelica. I'm friends with I'm friends with damn near 75%. Say that. So we take anything. I just want to say, and anybody who knows me, this shit is always my so let me see what somebody said. So somebody else says, I can't remember exactly how I found you, but I know it was through a person who is a trans activist. It's been over a year. Come on, here. With Ashley Marie Preston, Ruth Bombs. Yeah, I really I love advocacy, like John.
That's perfect.
Like down to advocacy or whatever. I'm here. Y'all actually found me through my podcast because, bish. Can We Talk? Have y'all been watching Can We Talk? Especially my Patreon people, because y'all get early access to the episodes.
I try to watch as much as I can.
I saw the one with
this old school.
Was that Riley and Isis? Was that the last one? Okay, I watched that one.
Okay, so what did y'all think about that one?
Again, for me, it was very educational, not being a trans person, to hear about people's life experiences from a different perspective.
Right.
I thought it was very good. That was very good.
I want to know if there are any cis women. Khalid did with this charger trying to prop his phone up, and because I was over here like, the fuck. But I do want to know if there are any cisgender women who want to come on and kind of talk about that episode. Because I got a lot of feedback from some of my cisgender homegirls that were saying like the stuff that y'all were talking about is not new, and like niggas is just, niggas is just trash. Like niggas is really just trash out here. But I also wanted to know, like, do gay men, especially because you actually were able to like listen, like John, do you feel? Oh, and first of all, I'm assuming if you are gay, John.
I'm gay.
Okay.
150%. So yeah.
So, how did you feel about some of the themes that we presented in that conversation? Did you feel like you could relate to them as it pertains to like dealing with men or dating men in the past, considering that we know that a lot of men be on that DL or hidden but not really hidden type vibe? Or was it something that you felt removed from because it was like a woman's conversation?
I feel like there were some parallels. I don't deal, well, it's changed now. When I was younger, I would get DL men who were older. Now I'm 50, I get DL men who are younger. And so it's shifted a little bit, but I don't get DL men so much anymore though. But if I do now, they're younger and I'm not DL, so we don't usually, nothing, goes down between us. But I found just the dating stories, I mean, except for the fact that it was from a trans woman's perspective, I don't think the actual situations were that much different than what I've experienced as a gay man.
I think that a lot of us have some of the same sort of similar backgrounds around it. Because I was hearing a lot of that from some of my gay male friends too. They were just like, girl, that is men in general. That's gay men, whether they're open, that's whether they're DL, that's just what, regardless, like that's just men. And I feel like I want to do an episode where we kind of discuss the idea of the ways in which like some men just are not ready to date, and maneuver in ways that makes it seem like they are. Because I know that my ex was really pissy about that episode. I didn't know because I haven't talked to him personally, but I know through the grapevine that he was pissed because people sent him the video and said that I was bashing him the entire time, and I was like, no, I wasn't. But I think that in regards to that and to him and to that situation, it was the last episode, Sugar Love, so it's the very last episode. But yeah, so it's one of those things where I feel like there are a lot of men, whether they be trans, amorous, DL, openly gay, just regular cis het straight men that move in these spaces that make you feel like, oh, like he ready. And he even in certain spaces might even say that he's ready. But then in an actual like moment to show and prove that or actually act accordingly, they act like, oh, what you talking about? Like I never said that I was ready to do that with you, you know? And that shit to me is always really trash. And so that's been a concept that I've been trying to grasp how to talk about on a multitude of different levels and not just the level of trans women. Like I would love to have conversations with cis women. I would love to have the conversation with like my gay brothers. I want to do like a round table and kind of just do like a relationship talk conversation where so that way people can see the parallel. Like I want to have like a cis het, like straight guy. I want to have a cis woman who is heterosexual or bisexual. I want to have like a gay guy, a guy who's bisexual. Like I want to cover the entire spectrum so that we all see how these experiences mirror one another and that we're able to have like a really dope conversation. So that's something that I'm going to be putting together.
That sounds really fun.
That's going to be fun. I'm thinking about doing that one. When are you going to do an interview MJ or India Moore? Can we talk? I did listen to the one with Angelica Ross. So if I can be honest, because this is my Patreon and my YouTube subscribers, what I can tell y'all is that honestly, no shade, but MJ curbs me every time I ask her about it.
Oh,
like every single time I bring it up, MJ like curbs the question. Like she acts like she didn't see it. Like she'll respond to the next message that I sent, or she'll respond to the last message that I sent, or like if we're having like a face-to-face conversation, she'll be like, "Yeah, girl, because yeah." Like, and I'm just like, do you not want to be on the show? Like,
it's no harm in saying no.
there's no harm in just saying no. Like, it's just, but it's really weird because like MJ, she shows so much love. Like y'all don't even understand. Like MJ shows so much love to me. Like we always like lift each other up. It's always like nothing but love. Like it's never shady except for when I ask her to come on the show. The only time it seems like throws a little bit of shade is like when I'm like, girl, so when you gonna come on the show? And she just be like,
Right.
you know, so I don't know what that's about, but I don't think that we're gonna get MJ on the show, unfortunately. India, and I have talked about India. India is also the most busy person outside of Pose. Like most of the time when me and India get together, we're so focused on just like having fun and doing things that we forget. Like when we were in New Orleans, we were supposed to film. When we were in we were in New York. When we went to Chicago, like me and India go on all type of little like random ass secret trips that nobody knows about. And we just forget because we be so is always filming something or doing a photo or whatever. But I promise
And
you,
she really be giving.
yeah, India gives. India fucking gives. India slays, and like India is look, it's gonna be a whole thing. I'm just waiting on somebody to give her, you know, that modeling contract or give them that modeling contract.
Wait, she doesn't have one?
She don't have one.
Does what men identify as make it hard to determine who's DL and who isn't? No, you can tell a DL a mile away. You
2
like
miles.
no, even when a man is out here like trying to put on like he's not, you can tell when a man is still not out of the closet. Like there's, I think, and John will probably be the best person to speak to it. Like with 50 years of experience, like after a while, you can kind of see through the bullshit. Like you know who is who and what is what, and they be don't get me wrong, but nah.
Like, remember, Hope, I told you about the dude on the train?
Yes, the dude. Yeah, okay, that's the problem. Tell them about.
Oh my gosh, this pissed me off. And then I'll tell you what happened afterwards. I don't think I ever told you. So I was on the train because I go to work and I ride the train. And this guy, he's like, I'm looking at him because he was gorgeous, girl. Gorgeous. And I was like, wow, he's really gorgeous. And he had like tattoos and stuff. So I'm looking at his tattoos. Not really like trying to check him out, like, because I'm on a train and that's creepy. So he looks at me like for a brief second and he like goes like oof, like he's trying to fight. I'm like, okay, this nigga's crazy. And then I go and well, he's getting ready to leave the train and all of a sudden he just bangs his whole entire body into my arm. And I don't think I still have the mark. No, this mark. You know, this mark came from when I death dropped into this damn nightstand. But he like banged his entire body into me. And I confronted him because I was like, bitch, I ain't the one. I was like, is there a problem? Like, why did you? He was like, and I had on my uniform for where I work. I'm not gonna say that publicly, but I had my uniform and everything. And he was like, oh, I'm not looking for a job, yada, yada. I was like, nigga, I'm not trying to talk to you about that. I'm trying to talk to you about why you felt the need to ram your whole body into me when you get off the train. So yada, yada, yada. I forget about it. He probably forgot about it. I'm just minding my business and I'm on the train another day. And one of these fools on this train smell like hot ass mixed with hot dog water. And I just was like, oh, hell no, I'm not here for it. He smelled like shit mixed with piss. And I was like, oh, hell no. And I get off that train car and I go to the next train car. And here comes this man who bumped into me. And I'm like, don't look. He said, how's your arm doing? I was like, nigga, what the fuck? I was like, I'm good. And I was on the phone. Well, I think I was pretending to be on the phone because sometimes I don't want nobody to look at me talking to me on the train. I think I really was on the phone, but he was like, how's your arm? And then he started to talk to me. I was like, this little DL nigga. I was like, I'm too old and been here for too long to ever talk to somebody who's DL. Because I just was like, if I can't hold your hand in public, if I can't kiss you in public, if we can't walk together and laugh and giggle and I can't touch you and stuff, it ain't for me.
What's the point?
What is the point?
What is the fucking
I'm
point?
not about to be nobody's hiding in the closet with nobody. You can stay in there by yourself. I'm good.
I don't know. For me, the entire thing of DL got really old, really fast. Like once I got into college, and I actually because when I was growing up, I didn't like my mama didn't play that. Like my mama has been the warden since I was a fucking child. And so I wasn't allowed to go and do and be and just explore like that. So I didn't have a lot of dating experiences. And when I
Same.
date, my second relationship was the relationship. I met him in the 9th grade and I was with him until I graduated. And so it wasn't until after I graduated and I moved that we broke up. And so now I'm in college and now I'm single and I'm a freshman and there are all these little boys trying to fuck on the new little faggot in town. You know, excuse me for the language for anybody who's triggered by that word. But, you know, there are all these, and I went to a historically Black college. And so it was one of those things where there's all of this trade all over the fucking campus. And there's a group of queens this big that's trying to fuck all of them, you know. And so for me, it was one of those things where like I wanted to set myself apart. And the good news was that there were so many of them that were hell bent on like trying to be masculine. So the rest of the queens, even though they were queens, they spent all of their time trying to like wear fitted caps and sag their pants. And I was the little gay person with the braids and the booty shorts, you know, and
Mhm.
and at the time, I think I weighed like 175 pounds and I was still bodied out. And so at night, if you weren't paying attention, all you saw was braids and ass. And so the guys used to like hit on me in public and then realize that it was me. And then I would have an influx of trade at my door. And it was one of those things where it got old really fast because every fucking night I would come home from theater rehearsal and there would be a different knock at the door. Hey, you got some noodles? Hey, you heard about the thing we doing
Not
down
the
there?
noodles.
Hey, you heard you going to the kickback? Hey, you smoke weed? And it was just one of those things where I was like, I cannot with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into child, if you want to cherish my body, you have to give me more than $2, sucky sucky. You gotta give me more than $2. Come on, sucky sucky. You could do better than that. You could do better than $2, sucky sucky. If you want to cherish my body for real, you gotta go ahead and you gotta break the bank. But anyway,
First of all, is this Cherish's picture? I mean, who is this? Sucky Sucky for
I
$5?
you know, it's a troll, but I love my trolls because my trolls are paying to be here, so it's all good. But it's one of those things where when I finally did settle for a piece of trade in college, he was this light skinned boy who was like 6'3" or so. He was taller than me, and he had the most gigantic penis I had ever seen in my fucking life, ever in my life. He had the most gigantic penis I'd ever seen in my life. Still to this day, I don't think that I've seen a bigger penis than his. And it was one of those things where young ass 18-year-old Hope was just excited to have that. And y'all know I'm a size queen. I say it all the time. You know, so all of those things like were jumbled in my fucking brain. And before I knew it, I was being used as a receptacle. And I didn't like that. And it was one of those things where not only was I being used as a cum receptacle, but it was tiring because I had to be at his beck and call whenever he wanted. And we had to do it in the most uncomfortable of places. And it bothered me. And I think the thing that really turned me off and was like, you know what, this is a no trade zone. Fuck DL niggas, I'm not doing it. Was one day, I will never forget it, y'all. I felt so violated and I didn't say anything about it. But I'm in the shower. We have community showers. And mind you, I'm just in the shower, minding my own fucking business, not thinking anything of it. And I guess he must have saw me come in and get in the shower. And I'm turned around because the shower is facing you. And so I'm just taking a fucking shower. And he gets it. And it was the scariest thing in the fucking world because he did it like he did it as if he was intending to rape me. Because when he got in, I guess he knew that I was going to scream. And so he gets in and it's one of those like swift movements where he got in and was just like,
oh, that's scary as fuck.
And so I am fucking petrified. because I didn't know it was him. And then finally, when he turns me around and lets me see that it's him, it was a very rapey scene. I was not in the mood. I did not feel like it. I had had a really bad day. I just wanted to shower and go to bed. And there was no regard for the fact that I was a person. It was, you are the gay boy that sucks my dick whenever I want my dick sucked. And so you gonna suck my dick right now in the shower because I want my dick sucked right now in the shower. And at that point, I was like, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. I never want to feel the way that I felt in that shower ever again in my life. And that was, you know, like, I know some of y'all be thinking that it's a joke when I say, like, oh, this is a no trade zone. This is a no, I don't respect DL men. But when I realized the amount of power that that boy had over me, to one, he didn't make me, but to make me feel like I had to do something that I didn't want to do, that was something that was scary to me. Because I knew that nobody else could have just done that. Like, nobody else could have just walked in that shower that day and done some shit like that and not got their ass kicked. And so I just felt like the fact that we allow these trades or these DL men to come and have all of this fucking onus over our bodies sometimes, and they get these special privileges that they don't fucking deserve, was just crazy. Like, he didn't deserve the special privilege of me being quiet about that. He didn't deserve the privilege of being able to do that and then leave. He did that. He came and then he left. And I just remember, like, feeling like dirt. And like, I stayed in the shower for like 30 more minutes, just like sitting there, just scrubbing at my, and it was just like, I cannot believe I just let somebody do that. I was so mad. But I think the way that I internalized it at the time was, but you have the power to tell him no next time. And the next time he came to my room, I was like, oh no, door shut. And the next time he texted my phone, I was like, oh no, number blocked. And the next time he cornered me in the bathroom, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be loud. So if you don't want to get caught, you're gonna have to leave. Like, it was one of those things where I took my power back by letting him know, like, I don't have a secret, but you do. And like, just from that day forth, I was like, I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm not like, and that's why it hurts me and it pains me so much to see some of my sisters out here playing with these DL people. Like, I'm into kink. Like, I'm into kink spaces and things like that. But I don't even do kink with people who are like, oh, I'm just trying out, you know, trans women in the kink space, because I feel like that's also a privilege, you know. And don't get me wrong, some of my sisters, they don't mind it. They don't mind, you know, because it's a kink space and people respect the idea that, you know, some folks don't want people to know about your kink, and that's cool. But even to me, I've drawn the line so far into my regular life that I don't even want you to be here in a kink space and feel that it's okay. Like, one of the guys that I play with now, he's an older guy, like super established, but he never, and we are just play partners. Well, we're friends too, but we're just play partners. And he never once have he ever made me feel like, oh, I had to hide or duck my head, or, you know, I don't want the neighbors to see you coming out my house. Like, he's never made me feel that way. And I just feel like, even though guys like that are few and far between, they exist. And so as long as I know that they exist, I'm never gonna let another one of you motherfuckers that gotta hide your business make me feel like this small. Never. And that's why, you know, I tell all of y'all girls, you know, and all of you boys, like, stop. No, they don't get to say so. They don't get to dictate this motherfucking situation. And if you are going to deal with them, then you dictate how the fuck you deal with them. If you can't come to my house at 10 o'clock when I want to be fucked, then you can't fuck me. Because I'm not waiting up till 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
Oh my gosh. I've been there, done that. It's the worst scenario. And then they make you leave before the crack of dawn. I remember one time, oh my gosh, same type of scenario. This guy, he was so big. And you know, I'm not a bottom or anything, but I like a nigga with a big dick. And he had the biggest dick I've ever seen to this day. It was like, maybe as big as this guy, not as big as this microphone, but goddamn near. And it was my second time ever like being with another guy in my life. Because prior to going to college, I knew I was gay. I just didn't because I was watching gay porn and shit. But I didn't know like that guys would flirt with me because in high school, I went to a Christian high school. So it really wasn't and at that it was like a bunch of white people. So I wasn't trying to get that energy anyway. But the second guy, wait, can I tell you the first time I ever got head and my first kiss, to be honest?
Yeah.
Because it was in college. So I'm a freshman. I'm a newbie. And I did not know I had a roommate or anything. I was told I did not have a roommate. And all of a sudden my roommate, he starts talking to me. He's very obviously like gay. And at that time I was very like closeted because I just was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't had a first kiss. I hadn't had nothing, done nothing with nobody. And I was just scared. So long story short, I remember one night I was just in my room and he looked at me and he gave me this look that I've seen people do in the porn. I was like, what you want? What you trying to do? And he kissed me and it was my first kiss. And I tell you, I've never received a kiss like that first kiss ever. And then he just proceeded to make his way down to kiss me down low, make it arch my back. And I was like, and I passed out.
What?
I legitimately passed out. And when I was waking up, he was trying to do something else to me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, fuck no. Not the Buddha how. I was like, no. I said, this booty hole is for exits only. Shit only. No dick. Shit, no dick.
I'm not gonna play. I can't. I'm not. I cannot. I'm not about to play with Khalif in this moment. I'm not about to play. I'm not about to play with Khalif in this moment. John. First of all, look at Justin's face. Justin was like, bitch, what? I cannot. Okay, so John, how did you? Was there an adjustment period, or do you think that things just kind of sort of? Because I know, like at least I know back then it was the thing to kind of sort of keep your business as a part of your business. So it's one of those things where, as times changed, you felt like you didn't want to do it anymore, or do you feel like as you got older the options for doing it kind of sort of lessened themselves?
I think a little bit of both. When I was younger, okay, so I came what they call, I forget, people call it something different now, but I'll use I came out as an openly gay person in 1989. So at that point in Atlanta, at least, there were not a lot of Black LGBT spaces to go into. So my coming out process was part of, we used to have an LGBT community center here, which I'm still flabbergasted that we don't have one now, but we had one back then, and I went there and it was mainstream. It was predominantly white gay, and there were a little bit of Black gays. So I came out like at 18 going on 19 at that time, and it wasn't a big deal. I met a bunch of gay people during that time frame. I got approached somewhat through DL men when I was younger than, but that wasn't really my thing. And definitely now, as the years have passed, like I said before, now it's very few and far between, and they're always younger men, and they're really trying to work their own stuff out. I don't know. I guess they see me as a gay person who's openly gay and just out there. So I get kind of approached, and like you said, it's never deliberate, but I kind of know what's going on,
right?
You know, especially with these younger guys. I'm like 20 years older than you, so now it's mainly guys trying to work out their own issues of either being with a guy or just trying to find themselves. Really, is what I get, and even now that's very few and far between. So that's how I've experienced DL. It's never been a tremendous amount of DL throughout my life at all. but it's definitely less now than when I was much younger. So, because I've been out and openly gay, like I said, like what is it now, 32 years?
Mm.
So
I-
it's, you know,
That to me is all. I feel like there is a new culture of the sugar daddy, and you know,
I'm in that zone.
you might want to be careful because a lot of these little boys, you know, they just out here trying to get caked up, and they think that you know.
Yeah, I've entered that age category. So, and that's definitely not what I want. I don't even want to be a daddy. I get a lot of that. It's not even a sugar daddy.
It's
It's
just
like it's like they fetishize age. I want you to be a daddy to me. I don't even want that.
First of all, I struggle with calling men daddy for sexual pleasure in general, just off GP.
That sounds like some incest stuff, to be totally honest.
And that's because I call like my father
Just a
who's
freak
no
over
longer
here.
with us, I call him daddy. And so the thought of like, now I will say this. I must have been really in love with Tarzan because the last 2 times that we had sex, it was a knee-jerk reaction. It just came out. And usually that is not even in my vocabulary during sex because I'm just like, ugh, like no. Because when I think of daddy, I think of my father, right? And it was a knee-jerk reaction because the last 2 times, not just one, it happened twice. I was in the middle of euphoria, and it was one of those. And I just remember both times I was just like, "Daddy," and there was no pretense to it. There was no. He didn't do anything or say anything extra. It was just this really weird sort of, and I've never felt that comfortable before. Even
Was
with
it
my
a
first
daddy or was it a zaddy?
no, it was like it was very much so like, oh daddy. Like it was
Oh, daddy.
Well, I mean, I might do that myself, but I don't want to. I have guys approaching me to be a daddy.
ugh.
It's like it's a fetish. They're looking for a daddy, and I don't.
See, I have a word, but it's not the daddy word. It's a very degrading word, but I couldn't.
Is
I
it
mean,
nigga?
I've done it one time.
Justin,
See,
nigga?
huh? What was it?
Justin, you said nigga? Who said
No,
Yes.
no. Let's not.
No.
Uh,
no? Okay, because I prefer nigga over daddy.
okay, so it depends on the setting. If I'm with somebody who I'm being like really like we're together and yada yada. If you call me a nigga, I'm like, nigga, what the fuck, nigga? You, what the fuck? No, nigga, no. But
Especially
if
a
it's like a
non-black
hookup,
person.
like I had a hookup
No,
and we were just kind of into like the fantasy thing. And there was a lot of niggas and there was a lot of like trade energy coming around. Like it was a lot of testosterone in the room. And there was a lot of, okay, nigga, fuck yeah, nigga, yeah. But other than that, don't call me that. If a nigga call me daddy, I don't know what I would do. I'd be like, I'm sorry. No, goodbye.
my thing is my acceptable words in the past have been papi, but I don't like that because even though like I'm Afro Latina, I lean more towards the idea of identifying as black because I don't know a lot about my Cuban roots at all. And what I find is that if a guy knows that, which usually if I'm fucking you, you know that because I'm not just fucking randoms, you know, like when men hear that, then it becomes this whole thing of now I have to be their Spanish bitch fantasy, and I don't like that either because I had one guy, and I think that this was the guy that I dated. Well, this was actually the guy that I was engaged to, Kevin, and Kevin ended up going to the Air Force, and he
The LA?
huh?
The one from LA?
Yes, and
See, we didn't talk about that in the book.
not in the book, but we're talking about it in the second book. The second book it will be where I
Hell yay! Because that was the cliffhanger. I was like, what about him?
But with Kevin, it was one of those things where he is also, I think, well, he's mixed. His mom is white. But it was one of those things where we were having sex and like I said, Papi. and then it turned into some whole other shit, and I just felt like I felt like I wasn't even there no more. It was like I felt like he made up some whole different bitch. He wasn't fucking Hope no more. He was fucking Capalea. I don't know who the fuck he was fucking, but it wasn't me. And he wanted me to play out this whole other. And so now, I like nigga. If I'm fucking somebody black, is usually my safe word, or I'll say boy. But I've learned because I had a Hotep boyfriend, and he didn't like that shit. He didn't like being called boy. Even during sex, he was just like, "Don't call me boy." And I was just like, "But man, don't sound as sexy."
Yes, man.
Man,
Yeah.
man, like,
Yes, man.
like it just, I don't know, like it just doesn't sound as sexy to be like, "Fuck me, man." Like it's like,
I don't like bruh. Like if a dude calls me I hate that. Do not bruh me. That is not cute.
What about just their name? I don't use
Say
any
my
of those.
name. Say my name.
I don't use any euphemisms or and bruh would be totally foreign for me to say. I would never say that. I don't use that in everyday language, so I definitely wouldn't use it during sex.
But what if they have a really weird name like, oh, yes, Charlie. Go ahead, Charlie. Like that. No.
what if
Like, yeah, Taquan.
no
Yeah.
fucking Marzavion? Could you?
Marzavion.
He gotta have something for short.
Oh, Marzavion. That see, no, bitch. I'm not.
Taekwondo.
I'm not fucking calling you Marzavion. I don't know. I think the only, but even with Tarzan, I think he was the only person that I actually ever moaned his name. Everybody else has gotten some euphemism or something. With him, it was a very personal sexual experience. I wanted everything to be very tailored to him. But that daddy shit did get me that time. Because, like, even after I said it, I felt guilty. I was like, Daddy, I'm sorry. like, ooh, Daddy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can say it because I don't owe my daddy shit.
But that's the thing.
But I feel like if I were to say daddy, I feel like it would bring up a whole set of like daddy issues that I just it's not in the place for the bedroom.
I don't know. That took a turn. That took a turn.
I like to be called like baby and stuff. Like that's cute.
Baby is always, but I feel like those are. Well, no, I don't know what it is, but I don't think I've ever really had a guy call me baby. Most guys use my name, which is so. When I think about it, I think that I'm like, I look like, huh? Like, why can't you call me something cute? Like, why can't you call me like I really name, like little slut whore? Like, why can't you call me something cute during sex? Like, I think like in my last 3 relationships or like my last 3 play partnerships, they've all been like very hell bent on being like Hope, and I'm just like, okay. I guess that works.
Wait, have you been called like sweetheart during sex?
No.
Oh my gosh, sweetheart turned me on one time and I wasn't ready for it and I just nutted.
No, when I think of sweetheart, I think of the granddaddy that holds the door open for you at Walmart.
No, it was the way he said it. He had almost that New York accent type of swag. He was like, come in, sweetheart. I was like, okay. Here I come.
I'm good. I think the only thing that has really turned me on that's a euphemism is shawty or shorty. But you gotta be New York. Like I love when you
Damn, shorty. Ooh.
shorty. Like that is, I don't know, because that's why I liked Q on because he had that like
Yes, that was the sexiest thing ever.
sort of vibe. So I like that, but I don't know. But none of these DL men deserve none of it. They don't deserve none of that. Like
That part.
he old school as fuck. I don't look here. Sweetheart just wouldn't. I don't know. Sweetheart
It
wouldn't.
was the way cause yeah, I can't say sweetheart. Come here, sweetheart. You know, I'd be corny as hell with that. But it was the way, and I can't even do it justice because it was just such a like had sweat coming down the middle of my back. The small of my back was just like I was ready to give it all up, but I was like, not my booty, huh? It was the way he said it. I cannot do it justice though. I promise you, if he would have said it to you the way he said it to me, you would have been like, "Oh, Sam, okay, Daddy."
Child, we'll see.
I mean, I guess that shit could be happy.
Somebody, these millennials is fucking Mr. John. Oh my god!
No,
First
he
of all,
was older though.
that Mr. John is fucking too. I don't think that Mr. John is not fucking. I just think that, look here, this is the safe space that I've created for my subscribers and only my subscribers. So this is, I mean, I really love, and I took, Madison is legit like my, and the reason that I've even learned to incorporate this space is because if you have Madison on Patreon, you know that her Patreon is very interactive. She makes a lot of space for people to feel like, you know us. And like, honestly, I don't want to do a lot of this stuff on Instagram just because I don't trust everybody. Like sometimes the views go up and I don't trust everybody that's in that space. And sometimes we get trolls and all type of shit. So I just feel like if somebody is paying their money to be here, then they're not going to be trolling for real. And we're going to be able to have like a really good time. And I just wanted to make sure that y'all get to have an experience with me that we don't get to have with everybody else. Because then when I get on live with all the other people, we can have our little inside jokes and they won't know. And then they got to pay their money so they can figure it out. Right. But I just, I don't know. This entire thing has been really fucking dope. I do want to watch Bad Hair. I think I might do a screening with y'all or do like host like a watch party for Bad Hair after I see it. I'm gonna watch it in just a few. I need to go eat the other half of my pizza because I'm kind of hungry. But this was fun. I had fun. I see that the people in the comments have had fun. Whoever that was that paid me $4 to tell me that I suck good dick. Thank you. But we are definitely going to do more of these. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this first one because it was really
I did. Thank you.
Okay, so Jesse, I enjoy. Thank you, Mr. John, for coming on, even though the millennials be fucking. I
don't think I ever questioned that, but
right. If anybody knew, ask John to use "sweetheart" in a sexy sentence. See, you sound like you got a fetish for the older guy.
Somebody got a fetish.
I'm telling you, I said if I can't find a 45-year-old man to save my life.
But you know what I have noticed? A lot of older men will like holler at me. And I don't know if it's the energy I'm putting out there. Like, I mean 45 to 50. Like since I was a freshman in college.
No, bitch, they want their use back and they feel like fucking some of these little young, hot, pretty thing will make them feel. And then child, I can't speak because I don't know. I'm not 50. I don't know. But to me, because even when like if you're from Atlanta or if you're in Atlanta or if you've ever been to Atlanta during Pride, Bulldogs is like a fucking breeding ground for those types of relationships because Bulldogs is not really for the young millennial crowd that shows up there. Bulldogs is for older men, 45, 50, 38, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not for the young kids that be up in there. And so what happens is you get the older cats that will come in early to get their spots to watch all of these young hot things run around the club. And then what I've noticed is that as they're picking up different little young queens, all of these other old cat daddies are like, oh, okay, I see you talk to him, but I'm finna go get his number too. And I'm gonna spend more money. Like it becomes this whole weird ass like old man game. And it's like, I'm not gonna say that it's creepy because you like what you like and you're entitled to like whatever the fuck it is that you like. But I agree with John. Like when I'm 40, when I'm 50 or when I'm 45, like I'm going to want, if I'm not already with somebody, which I think I will be, or which I hope I will be, I think that it's one of those things where like, I'm not going to want to play around with no fucking teeny bopper, but it seems like everybody else that's in your age group wants to fuck around with these fucking children. And then they want to complain about it.
Yeah.
I'm in this space where I don't even want like, how old am I? 22. And I don't want to talk to no 18-year-old. I don't want to talk to I don't want to talk to a 19-year-old. Like it's just like it's too far of a gap for me. And I'm just like I'm good.
Okay, I'm actually 19.
Oh, I couldn't talk to you.
Okay.
You're not even in the running towards becoming an Erica's next top.
But I don't necessarily think it's anything that you're doing because I don't go after younger men. They're usually approaching me.
They
Mm.
want a Zaddy. I don't know
average
Zaddy.
The average guy I'm dealing with is about late 30s, maybe 37, 38, somewhere like that.
Hmm.
And I don't approach them; they're usually approaching me. So,
Interesting.
and I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that age category because I mean, at that point, it's like we're all grown, But
Grown is grown.
I don't know.
But I don't like it when older men like to treat you.
So
I don't like it though when the older men like to treat you like you've got like 20 less years. Like, granted, you may have 20 years less years of life that they have experienced versus you experience. But I don't like when they like treat you like a child or something, and they like to be all in control and everything. Because I like to take control sometimes.
Well, okay, look here. When you go looking for a daddy, that's what you find. And I tell people that all the time. I tell people that all the time. You can't, especially like my friends who are into older men, you can't go looking for a daddy and expect him not to have daddy tendencies. It's not that you're going to benefit from. You're going to benefit from him and his age and his wisdom and the things that he feels like he has to bestow upon you. And a lot of guys go after some of these older men because the balls have dropped, the dicks are bigger, they're thicker, whatever the case may be. But it's just like outside.
What happens?
Yes, that happens.
So there's more?
As men get older, and I don't know if John want to drop his business, but I know as men get
Wait, let me.
As men tend to get older, there tends to be benefits to that. Like if you can actually keep it up, I've heard a couple of men say that they feel like they've benefited from age. And right, okay, I saw that slight head nod, John. Okay.
Damn.
I think the only thing that I can say that I will put out there, I thought at this point that I would feel somewhat of a slowdown in sex drive, but no, not at all. Not at all.
See, mine is dead though. I feel so bad for my partners because I be so hot and cold. Like I be so hot and cold. Like there are times where like I'll send nudes or I'll send like a video, but I won't actually be horny. Like I just want you to admire my body. And that's how I get fucked up. Because like I've learned that niggas don't be on that. Like if you send me a hot and ready pizza, bitch, you better be ready to let me eat it. Because like niggas don't be on that shit. Like I have done that. I used to do that to Tarzan all the time. Like I would be on some like, ooh, let me send you this video of me doing X, Y, and Z. And in my head, it was because I felt sexy. So I was like, ooh, I want you to compliment me because I feel sexy. And in his head, it was like, oh, so this is an invitation for me to fuck. And I was like, but no, I don't want to have sex. And he's like, so why would you send me that? And I'm like, because I wanted you to say I was cute. And he's like, nah, that's not what we do over here. Like, yeah,
we don't do that over here.
That is not how this works. Like, if you gonna send me some shit like that, then you need to be ready for me to, do whatever it is that I need to do as a man to get stuff going and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. I think that for me, because I guess, I could tell y'all something exclusive because, yeah, this is the thing. So, I have decided.
Gee, I can't live with you, Khalid.
Bitch. Gonna pull out your motherfucking mug on me. Ugh.
It was just there, and I was like, "Bitch, pull it."
So, I mean, it's not a secret, but it's something that I've been like kind of avoiding talking about, just because I don't like talking about it. But if you had the premium Patreon, then you already know. But I plan on actually starting my donation sort of funding process so that I can have my SRS surgery, and I'm really excited about it because
what's SRS surgery?
It's the big. It's the big one. It's the surgery for the girls.
So
So
you ain't got your coochie done? Sorry to get personal, but you ain't got your coochie done.
No.
Why you say like you ain't got your hoochie done?
I live the way that he said that. Gave me ghetto vibe.
It's the way that he said it.
It was the way-
But you ain't got your hoochie done.
It was the way he said it. So it gave me all of the ghetto fish vibes that I lived for.
Wait.
I was low key here for it because it reminded me of like a black cis woman being on here like, you ain't got the coochie down. But what were you about to say?
Yeah, I said, is that the same as gender confirmation?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it was a thing that for a long time I was debating about, because I know like at the beginning of my transition, I was like, child, fuck that. And then like somewhere in the middle, I was like, well, if my boyfriend, husband, person wants me to get it, then I'll get it. And now I'm at this place where, ooh, that would be too much information. That's not my own information, so I can't say that. I'm not going to say that because that's not just my story to tell. But what I will say is that, no, because that's going to be too obvious now. I can't say nothing because I done fucked it up. I said too much without saying anything. But what I will say is that I feel like I'm at a point where I'm ready to have it. And so I'm going to go ahead probably next week and start putting the link up for that. So any donations or whatever that y'all have, don't do it until I release the GoFundMe link, because the surgery is like 20 bands, and I know that I got 20,000 followers. So if everybody gave a fucking dollar, bitch, literally, I would be able to get the surgery. Like, I have not even 20, I have 23,000 followers. So if everybody gave 50 cents, I would be able to get the surgery. So that's like my biggest thing. But like, I know that for me, I was a little embarrassed by it because I don't know how many, well, y'all, I know most of y'all don't have it, but I did an interview like 2 months ago, and he just released it. And one of my friends who I did the interview with, he assumed that I had it. And I don't know why, because I don't usually talk about my genitalia. Like, I don't, wear a bunch of things that, well, I don't feel like I wear a bunch of things that are revealing, but whatever. It was one of those things where I was just like, it caught me off guard, because he was like, yeah, so how has things been sexually since you got your pussy done? And I was just like, oh.
But you don't know.
You don't know. And I don't know why, y'all, but I didn't correct him. Like, I didn't correct him. I just lied about the whole experience. And he follows me on Instagram. So when I post it, I know he gonna be like, bitch. I know he's gonna be like, bitch, like, you had a whole conversation with me about having a whole fucking surgery and you haven't had this shit yet. So I know that that's going to be like a kind of like an awkward conversation, but I am going to be like, nigga, you just assumed, and I didn't want to embarrass. I felt embarrassed by it, so I didn't want to whatever. But that's another thing that I think that is sparking me to get it, is because I'm sick of like feeling embarrassed. Like, going through TSA, that shit is fucking embarrassing and annoying. Like this last particular time, I felt really violated. I don't think I've ever felt violated going through TSA, but this last time, it was an emergency trip. My friend had a family issue, and she was like, Hope, can you please come down here? I'll buy your flight. Like, it was on some last minute shit. And I was just lounging around the house in like my regular panties, not really tucked, just whatever. I had on this dress. And so, of course, like, I grab the little things that I could grab or whatever. I throw it in the bag and I just go to the airport. And I forget that I'm not tucked. And then I also have on a dress. And the dress was really fucking bulky. It's like a house dress, but it was like an African house dress. So the fabric is really thick. So when I go through the little machine, I immediately get fucking tense because I'm like, shit, I'm not tucked. And that machine is going to go off. And so, of course, the machine... But this lady, when she's doing her check, like, most people just kind of stay like within the inner thigh. Like, they don't really go all up in there. This bitch was in my crotch. Like, she was in she was all up in it. And I just felt, and I think the thing that made it so much worse was because it wasn't like I was tucked. And so it wasn't like, it was just there. And I could tell that after she felt it the first time, rather than her respecting that and kind of just being a little bit more moderate, it was like she wanted to like ensure that she felt it again. And then she did it again from the back. Like, when she told me to turn around, she like intentionally like, and mind you, I have on a dress, like, and it's a floor length dress. So she made it her business to like pushed to the front just to, and it was
That's
the most,
embarrassing. I feel bad for you.
it was embarrassing.
That's
It was
violated.
it was so like it was disgusting because my thing is I know that a lot of people may not want to believe this, but there are cisgender women that are attracted to trans women too. And I'm not
Oh, I didn't know that.
like, she might have
Well,
been,
you said it in a laugh one time.
yes.
I
Like
would have punched that bitch in the throat.
the women that are attracted to transgender women too. And I like my thing is I'm never gonna put it past a cis woman to be a pervert too. Like she might have been a fucking pervert, like getting her kicks off of that shit. And it's just like I never want to go through that situation ever again. But I also hate the idea that every time I go to the fucking airport, like it's like a whole process. Like I gotta put on 2 pair of panties and a tuck and like a whole thing. And then when I do that, I go to the bathroom, I take it all off so that I can be comfortable on the like that. And it just I don't know. For me, the entire thing just doesn't feel true to who I am and how I want to live my experience. And so I've decided to finally just go ahead and get the surgery. But I know that I just got verified and everything, y'all. But I'm not rich. I ain't got no money. So I don't have
Most of the people who be talking about verified ain't really got money anyway.
a child. And that's my. If you ever look back at some of the stories of people who are like, even if they've gotten money now, like I think I love Quay or you know the person that played TT. When I look back at his story, I love how he was just honest because he was like, I had 1 million followers and a verification stamp and was broke. And I was just like, how the fuck do you have 1 million followers with all of the promo and all of the stuff, like all of the shit that TT was doing at the time? How the fuck do you have that and be broke? And he was just saying it's because like if you don't know how to market that shit, then it means nothing. And for me, I'm just thankful because when I say that I'm broke, I just mean that I don't have 20 bands just laying around in my bank account. But I have learned how to leverage the Insta fame and all that shit to my advantage. And even now, because now the blue check means that the price goes up. Because I know that the reason that you hit me up is because of the blue check. So bitch, you got to pay for that blue check. But it's just like, I think that one of the things that I've always been afraid of in asking or creating a GoFundMe for this or like talking about it is that I'm always like weary of the ridicule that comes from it when you're a celebrity. Because I don't feel like I'm a celebrity. And like, I'm starting to hear that word and my name is a lot more. That makes me nervous because I never want people to feel like I don't need help. You know, like I never want folks to feel like I don't need help or that I'm to help other people in a certain way that I'm not. But this whole thing is you know, it's gonna be new for me. It is gonna be a little nerve-wracking when I drop it. So everybody are on here. Yeah, Angelica's post-op, she talked about it on the Can We Talk podcast. But yeah, if you're on here and whatever, when I drop that on next Monday, because I'm gonna drop it as a part of the Can We Talk episode, it'll be on. Just show me some love and support that day, because I'm gonna post that shit and then I'm gonna get off social media and leave. I'm gonna post it and then I'm gonna bounce.
Then leave.
You should if people are willing to give, and so what? Yeah, I mean, I feel just like, I think the thing that makes me weary, Bonks, is the fact that
hey Bonks, I'm sorry.
When you know that like 1,000,000 people know it's between your legs, you know, like, and it's one of those things where it was an assumption before, but like it's I feel like for me the embarrassing part about it is that I'm not in a position to just do it myself. And so now I'm in a space where, because I do, you know, think that I would benefit from putting it out there, that it also puts it out there like what's between my legs, and that just bothers me. Especially because on top of my followers, and some of my followers are very famous people, and like there's a likely chance that some of those people might, you know, repost it to their stories or whatever. And it's just kind of like weird knowing that the world knows that you're about to get something like that done. And I think that that's the thing that kind of has me a little, you know, I don't know. That's the thing that just kind of makes me. She got it. She mad. Her she made her complete. Oh, okay. No, she definitely she has it, and I think that I'm not one of those girls that feels like confirmation surgery will make me complete, because I feel perfectly fine in and of my own body. But I do think that it's something. I think any surgery that I've ever gotten, which is my boobs, my boobs, and then when I went and I got my fat transfer, like all of that stuff was, I don't know, like none of those things felt like I didn't feel like I needed to be completed. They just helped me with the aesthetic. Like it helped me feel more confident, but I don't feel like any of those things helped me feel complete or more like a woman. I feel like I've always felt like once I decided that I was going to embrace my transition, I didn't need to feel like a woman, but I think aesthetically they helped me feel sexy. And they helped me feel like empowered. But I know that some women are just like, no, without my pussy, I didn't feel like a woman. And I'm just like, oh, sucks to be you right now, because that's not
Right.
my truth. But yeah, I definitely, I feel like my surgeries were more so for me to feel good about being in my body, but they didn't kind of help elevate or de-escalate or anything one way or the other. But we done been on here for damn near 2 hours, y'all. I love y'all. This has been a dope ass experience. Like I said, keep me
I
up.
really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for coming on here, being on here. All of the people that was fucking live with us, talking shit. All of the hopefuls. I love y'all. I'm gonna try to do this like once a week. I'm still gonna do the makeup lives. Trust me, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, don't. I know y'all love the makeup lives. Like, the shit and we talk. So I'm still gonna do the makeup lives, but I do want to do spaces like this where people can come and we can all talk and fellowship and just like have a completely different experience than we do on Instagram. But like I said, this time and every time, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Stay hopeful and good night.
Good night.
Good night.